What is up, bros and broettes? We are back at it again with a back workout day, and we're going to do a full balanced back workout day today with 1 pulling movement, 2 rowing movements, rear delts, lower back, and trapezius. And we're going to start things off with a wide grip V-bar pull down. I like using this attachment because it naturally has your hands and your arms at a neutral grip, which makes the bar easier to pull down. Also, it keeps your elbows forward, so it can help activate the lats a little bit better than compared to your standard overhand pull-up bar attachment. Now, watch my form here. I'm going full range of motion, so my head is in between my arms. I'm pulling the bar down just to my upper abdomen, right under my nipple level, and I'm leaning back slightly so that way the bar doesn't hit my head on the way down. A lot of people don't go full extension, or they use way too much weight, or they lean back way too far. You want to be strict even during your warm-up movements. So we're going to start things off with 70 pounds of 1 set, 8 to 10 reps. And if you just watch my form here, as the weight gets heavier, it basically stays pretty strict. So you'll pull the bar down to your upper abdomen, right underneath your nipple, and then you want to extend all the way to the top and let your back fully stretch. And if you watch my head, it's right in between my arms. So the weight's going to get a little bit heavier, 80 pounds, 1 set, 8 to 10 reps. And as the weight gets heavier, you're going to have to use momentum, but you still have to keep your form strict. You want the whole movement to be really fluid. But at my final set, I like to hold and pause. A final set, 100 pounds, 1 set, 5 to 8 reps. And if you watch my form in this one, I'm pausing at the top and I'm pulling all the way down. The weight is pretty heavy, but I want to keep my form pretty strict. Now we're going to start the second exercise off with a standing rope lat pull down, 25 to 35 pounds times 2 sets, 12 to 15 reps. Now a lot of people do this form pretty badly. They're leaning way too far forward. The elbows aren't coming back, so they're not contracting their back muscles. In the next clip, you're kind of see a better view, but you want to have your form slightly bent at the knees. You want to pull your elbows all the way back as far as you can, and you want to be standing upright. You don't want to be leaning forward too far. So here's a pretty good angle how it should look. Slightly bent at the knees, standing upright. My head is neutral. I'm allowing my arms to fully extend at the top, and I'm bringing my elbows back as far as I can, and I'm squeezing my back muscles. So it's a one solid fluid movement. And in between all my back exercises, I like to do dead hangs just to stretch the back and to work on my dead hangs so I can hold them a little bit longer and to strengthen the grip. And you want to use a variety of grip for your dead hangs. You don't want to stick to just one. You want to use all types of grips for your dead hangs. So we're going to do a working set, 50 pounds for 2 sets, 10 to 12 reps. And 50 pounds is pretty heavy, but I'm controlling the movement. I'm not letting the weight control me. And I'm trying to bring my elbows back as far as possible. Okay, we're going to start off another exercise with Cedarburg Delt Row with an overhand grip. A warm-up set of 20 pounds, 1 set, 15 to 25 reps. If you saw my shoulder video, I like doing these for my rear delts. And I like using an underhand grip, but today I wanted to show you another variation. You can use an overhand grip, and it just depends on where you feel the best contraction is, if you're doing an underhand or overhand grip. I personally like the underhand grip, and I find that it hits my rear delts a little bit better than the overhand grip. So I'm just going to stick with this grip for the remainder of the exercise. And if you watch my previous shoulder video, I mentioned 15 to 25 reps is the best zone to be in when we're working the rear delts. A lot of people will go way too heavy for the rear delts, which bring in the whole back muscle and takes attention off the rear delts. We want to isolate the rear delts by just a limited range of motion because the muscle is so small. So the range of motion has to be pretty limited, but you also have to hit it with very heavy and high reps. I like having my elbows flared out a little bit more. Some people like them tucked in, so you can try tucking your elbows. Whichever best contraction you get with either your elbows flared out or keeping them fully tucked in is up to you. Alright, now we're going to do Smith machine shrugs, a warm-up set of 90 pounds, 2 sets, 10 to 15 reps, and I'm going to show you 2 variations of the Smith machine shrugs. So if you look at my hand placement, they're very far out, and this is a wide grip placement. I like using the wide grip because it does hit the total trapezius, but if you look at the line of path where my arm is, it's going to hit the outer portion of the trap a little bit more. So I'm going to show you another variation. It is a slightly closer grip, and if you look at my hands, I'm gripping the bar a little bit closer. This is going to hit the whole entire area of the trapezius, but I find that if you do a wider grip, it's going to hit more of the outer trapezius a little bit better. So I would do inner for the total trapezius, and if you want to put more emphasis on the outer portion of the trapezius, you would do a wider grip. And as you can see, I'm going for a wider grip on this one because I find it hits the trapezius, the outer portion, a lot better. You can't go as heavy, but it does emphasize more of the outer portion of the trapezius. And if you look at my trapezius right here, you can see that where that stretches, just because of where my arm to my shoulder line of path is, that's where it's hitting, that's where it's getting the most tension. So we're gonna do a working set, 160 pounds, 2 sets, 7 to 10 reps. I usually don't go more heavier than 2 plates because if I'm doing a wider grip, it does make things a lot harder to keep the form. Now we're going to do a glute and ham machine exercise, which can be utilized for lower back extension. And I'm just going to use a weight, a little barbell, 40 pounds. And I like using this one because it helps build more resistance for my lower back. I like using the lower back the glute and ham extension because it limits your range of motion to just the lower back. Now we're going to do a working set, 50 to 60 pounds, 2 sets, 10 to 12 reps. I'm going to work my way up to 60 pounds after this set, but it really does burn your lower back muscles, and you don't want to have the weight go past your eyes. You want to have your arms strictly straight down. You don't want it to roll forward or anything like that, so keep an eye on the barbell placement. Have your calves right under the pad, and you just want to control your lower back all the way up. So we're going to finish things off with a hammer strength row machine, standing stance, 90 pounds, one set, 12 to 15 reps as a warm up. And if you watch my form on this one, I have my feet, the left foot is on the ground, the other right foot is just on the foot placement area. I have my left hand on the seating pad, and my right arm is on the very top of the bar, or the handle I should say. And I am just rowing and I'm pulling my back as far as I can. I'm keeping my head neutral, but as I'm rowing my elbows back, I'm lifting my chest up, almost like I'm trying to elbow someone from the back, as if imagine someone's trying to rob you and you just want to elbow them from behind. So you want to bring that elbow back as far as possible, but you want to keep your chest up and your head neutral. The weight is going to get a lot heavier after this, but I'm going to do a working set of 180 pounds, one set, 5 to 10 reps. And you basically want to keep the same form as the weight progresses. Now, a lot of people, they stop short of the range of motion. I want you to fully let your arm and your back muscles pull as far as possible, because you want that deep stretch, you want that deep contraction. Always go full range of motion. Let your back muscles stretch as far as possible. So we're going to do a working set of 360 pounds, one set, 5 to 10 reps. Even with the 4 plates, I'm controlling the movement and I'm allowing that stretch. I'm allowing to pull me forward as far as possible, because you want that deep stretch when it comes to building your back muscles. And that's where you're going to build the most power as well, by controlling the weight and pulling back with a lot more force. Remember, when you're pulling back, elbows back as far as you can, chest up. And we are going to finish this set off with 410 pounds, one set, 5 to 10 reps. And the reason why I keep my left arm on the pad is to help me control the weight as I'm lowering it down, and it helps provide stability. The same with how my leg is on top of that, the foot pad.